Thanks to somebody on the NR2003 Reddit, we now know that Sim Racing System is going to be adding NR2003 to its current lineup of what can be described as an incident counting system for the game. So, NASCAR Racing 2003 season will have an iRacing incidents and rating system, along with what seems like it will be public server racing for the first time since around Open Speedway decided to shut its doors. Can't remember the exact year that happened, but this is a big thing for NR 2003 because in the past it's been dying's a strong word, but it hasn't been in the greatest state of all time. So thankfully SRS came in, and now we have a new system that will allow you to see how good you are at the game, and also if it goes well enough, if enough people start playing NR and start doing the public open servers for it, we will have a what seems to be rating-based system that will classify you based off of how clean you are and how good you are, and then put you into races alongside the same type of people. So this is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Hopefully it goes the way that it should, but I'm going to show you what the program looks like, how it works, etc. So basically, when you go to this site, let me go ahead and log out just so you can see, but you've been successfully logged out, etc. So you would go to login, and it would basically say, hey, put in a username. You would want to use your first and last name. So mine is Brandon Schmidt, and then I would log in. So what has to happen though when you're a fresh new person is you would have to be a activated by an admin. There's only one admin, so it may take a while, but depending on what happens, you will be allowed to be able to race on Sim Racing Systems, which not only has NR 2003, but it also has Assetto Corsa, R-Factor 2, and I believe it has some other games. I'm not entirely sure. Let's actually look at it. I'm sorry. Looking at the schedule here. But Assetto Corsa, and then I believe it has Race Room, and then it also has, I believe, R-Factor 2. I can't remember specifically. But there's many other games that you can do, many other games you can try that you would be allowed to race on as well. So this isn't just NR 2003. This can open you up to a whole new world of, you know, public server racing. Also being, you know, quantified into a multitude of classes. So let me go ahead and show you how the program works. So it is extremely beta at this point, but we do have an application at this current time, which is SRS NR 2003. Basically, you would download this and install it into your game folder, and then start SRS through the application. You would be prompted a login, and then you would log in. So I press to enter, and then there you go. You're able to see multiple sessions that you can register for. At the current moment for beta testing, which unfortunately, I cannot give you the download or anything. I actually still have to run by this video idea to the person who is in charge of this project. Not entirely sure when they'll allow me to post this. Hopefully soon. But you would be prompted with 3 sessions. You have an off-road, which you have a rating for that. Mine is currently 116 with 20 incidents averaged. Because we're just dicking around trying to figure out the system. Then you have oval, and then you would have road. So currently right now we have off-road, oval, and then oval. So you would have the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 2018 mod at original Atlanta Motor Speedway, so the Atlanta that comes with the game. You also have original Cup with the original Atlanta, and then you have the Bullring Dirt Lake model at their track Accord, and you can do that as well. Then, based off of your finishes, you will be given a rating. So my rating on oval, at least at this current time, is 95.5, average incident 1. I've got a win, a top 3, and a top 10. I actually won 2 races, but since it is the iRacing system, you need to have 6 or more cars for it to become an official event and count towards your license. But currently I have 2 wins. That's something in the future that, you know, you'll have to understand. It is based completely off of, you know, iRating, basically. So you'll have an NR2003 iRating. Another neat thing about this that I will mention is that I honestly kind of like this idea. I wasn't necessarily thrilled with it at first because going over it with a couple of people that I was, talking to in threads and etc., I feel like I know this game pretty well, like inside out, back and center, etc. And I was really hoping that the people that were jumping into this game really understood how the game actually worked as much as I do. So it was a concern that I had that at this point, looking at it, the way that they do it is they use default setups within tracks, they use default grips within tracks, and they just put it right up and you're ready to go. So it is default racing. It is fixed setup racing. It's about as competitive as you can get without it being, extremely difficult. But for newbies and etc., this is going to be a perfect way for you to be introduced into online sim racing. Now we're going to go over the pros and cons. I've listed a lot of pros, so let's go ahead and list them again. Great for the game. You also have a rating system that will, I assume, in the future, when the testing period is over, link you into certain servers with certain averaged ratings, so you can compete with people like yourself who are the same class, the same level as each other. So it should be really competitive. The third thing that I would mention that is a pro is that it'll bring a lot more people to the game. A lot more people will be introduced to NR2003, which could mean in the future modders could come in. More people could want to add to the game. After 15 years, it could have even more. The community could grow, etc. The only con that I have, particularly right now after doing, 3 races, at least officially, I've done actually 4, but the only con that I have so far is that the server is listed in Germany. Now, considering everything, for American users, the netcode is actually, pretty scary. It's not, horrendous, but if your internet is bad and then you're trying to connect to Germany, if your internet is already bad, connecting to somebody in California or wherever, your ping could probably be really bad, and this wouldn't really necessarily be for you. Whether this gets changed in the future, I'm not entirely sure. But the netcode at this moment is, it's not incredible, and it did kind of get on my nerves a tiny bit. Not in terms of, I was fuming mad, but I was a little bit I could see how this could get me mad in the future if the servers are, staying in Germany always, which we have no idea if it is. That's probably what's going to happen, which is unfortunate, but the fact that we have public server racing for the first time in a really long time that will be worth something is a big plus. So thank you so much to Sim Racing System, bringing life back into this game, giving this game technically a second life in terms of, growth. You guys are fantastic, and thank you so much for joining our community, and we welcome you with open arms, hopefully. I don't know how exactly everybody's going to react, because I reacted kind of I don't know yet. And then I got on and did a couple of races and tested it, and it was actually pretty fun. I could see how this would become a thing for this community to do and have fun doing, and then also new people could join the community. So once again, thank you so much to Sim Racing Systems. You guys have been great, and this is a great idea, and hopefully we can all grow together as a community. I sound like a cult leader. I'm not going to make you drink, suicide juice.